At Skolfield Sports Performance at the Parisi Speed School, we have 5 principal points of success. And these points of success are the underlying things that are going to help us unlock our speed. And these principles right here are things that we're going to apply every time we work on both our linear speed as well as change of direction. So these underlying principles are what's going to help us create the most efficient, effective, and most powerful movements possible when it comes to training speed. So here they are. Principle number 1. Whenever I move, I'm always going to run with my toe up. And here's why. When I have my toe up, it's going to expose the ball of my foot. Coaches are always talking about, hey, you want to be on your toes? This is what they mean. And when my toe is up, it puts my calf on stretch. And when my calf is on stretch, it puts my hamstring on stretch, which puts my glute on stretch, which is the strongest muscle in the body. So now, when this foot interacts with the ground, it's ready to explode, right? So I always want to land with my toe up. So we just practice that. We're gonna powerfully move our toe, keep our toe up and land on the ball of the foot and come right back up. As opposed to having our toe down. When we have our toe down, we bounce our foot off the ground, right? There's a great reduction in power. It also hurts. And if we do that a lot over time, it's gonna eventually lead to injury. So principle number 1, always move with the toes up. Principle number 2, proper arm action. So if we remember, the keys to having great arm action when we're sprinting is number 1, I'm always going to sprint with my hands open, right? I'm also going to have my arm at 90 degrees. My lead arm, my lead thumb is going to be in line with my cheek, okay? And my back hand is always going to extend past my pocket, right? So then when I switch, the movement's going to occur at the shoulder as opposed to at the elbow, which has no power whatsoever in it. So whenever I move, I'm always going to use proper arm action with hands open, arm at 90 degrees, and hand goes past my pocket. Principle number 3, arm and leg relationship, right? The faster our arms go, the faster our legs are going to go, all right? The two are connected. And if you want me to prove that to you, as simple as this. If you just start by marching in place, all right, and you gradually get some arms with it, and making sure that we're using a proper arm action. So now what I want you to do is keep the same cadence, same tempo with your legs, but I want you to move your arms faster. Faster, faster, faster. See how no matter how hard you try, if you move your arms powerfully and fast, your legs have to go with it. So arm drive equals leg drive, which is arm and leg relationships. Principle number 4, proper landing or base position. So whenever I come from a landing, all right, it's important that I make sure that my body is biomechanically sound to help prevent injury and allow me to respond in any direction. So it looks like this. I want to have my feet a little wider than my hips, all right? I want my weight on the inside balls of my feet. I want my heels off the ground just enough to fit a pencil underneath, all right? And I want my back flat and my hands back by my pocket, all right? So whenever I jump and land, it can be simple as this. I'm gonna jump up and hit that position. And I wanna check myself, all right? Are my feet wider than my hips? Am I inside my base of support, all right? Is my back flat, hands past my pocket, right? The other key to this is whenever we're gonna move in a lateral direction, so whether we're lateral shuffle, we're doing side run, I'm always gonna finish in this base position. I'm gonna start and finish in this base position. So the same things are present, weights on the inside balls of my feet, my heels are off the ground just enough to fit a pencil underneath, my back is flat, and I wanna make sure I have angles. So my nose is over my toes, right? And I wanna have angles in the direction I'm going. So notice how I have a little bit of an angle going forward versus being vertical. I need to have angles in the direction I'm going. Also, you'll see my hips, my knees have angles to them as well, so I can go in any direction. From here, in this position, I can go anywhere. I can rip a crossover, I can go lateral, I can accelerate forward, I can backpedal. So, principle number 4, proper landing in base position. Principle number 5 is deceleration position. So deceleration position, this is the position we're gonna finish in whenever we move forward and backwards. And why is that? The reason for that is we want to prevent injury, and it allows us to change direction faster. So whenever we're going to decelerate from a linear position, I always going to finish here. All right, so it looks like this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my feet together. I'm going to just take a step out like a lunge. I'm going to finish with my nose over my toes, my back leg bent, my opposite arm is in line with my cheek, back hands past my pocket. I'm always going to decelerate in this position and hold it. The reason for that is if I just decelerate, like a lot of kids do, they run, they sprint, and they lean back, all the force is going on my quads. When that happens, all right, all that force goes to my tibia, to my patellar tendon, which takes my tibia and shifts it forward, which makes my ACL taut. If I decelerate, lower my hips, get my glutes involved, then my hamstrings become involved, which attach to the backside of my tibia and helps provide a co-contraction to help make sure that my tibia doesn't shift forward and stays connected, all right? That's gonna greatly reduce my chances of injury, especially an ACL injury. And if you look at it, in this position, I'm in a much better position if I need to change direction with my back pedal, I need to shift and make a cut to the right. So whenever we finish in a forward and backwards direction, we're gonna finish in deceleration position. So just to review, number one, I'm always gonna sprint with the toes up. Number two, I wanna have proper arm action. Number three, we got arm and leg relationship. Number four, proper landing at base position. And number five, deceleration position. Those are our 5 principal points of success.